way to go change out this little fan cycle switch on a Manitowoc, and we'll go through a Manitowoc. Okay, so it's just a little Manitowoc ice maker. I gotta recover the charge first. See, it was still making ice even though the fan cycle switch was jacked. I'm gonna turn that off. And let's see. We're plugged in right here. Unplug it. So this is the restaurant's little storeroom. It's a little spare evap coil, and they got all kinds of stuff in here. It's like their little backup storeroom. Lid comes off, super easy. And let's see, 5/16. Okay, got my gauges hooked up. I'm gonna turn the machine on. Okay, I got the unit recovered. I think I misspoke earlier. I think I said that new switch was swedged, but it's not. It just has a stub in it. So this is the one right here. Now I'm gonna sweat it out from the little distributor tube here. My little magnet work lights, I love those things. Okay, there it is. We'll get the new one in there. And then we'll get the new one sweated in. I like to check the part number on there. It looks like it was 2001-1263. You can double check the parts house. Where was it at? Right there. 2001-263. And this is our fan cycle switch. So let's go get it sweated back in up there. I'm going to wrap it with the wrap. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we'll get some sauce on the dryer. We'll get that out of here. We'll get our filter dryer changed out. Okay, we got the switch changed out, we got our dryer changed out. We soap bubbled her. We're gonna pull a vacuum, got the micron gauge going. Just got it started. So while it's pulling a vacuum, I can take all this apart. I'm gonna take it up inside the restaurant and clean it up real good. And then we'll clean the condenser out. And then I'll show you guys how to go through these Manitowocs. It's pretty simple. Okay, I pulled the water distribution tube out of the ice maker. You can see it's all scaled up. So I'm gonna take it inside the restaurant and clean it at the sink. This tube was gonna come out of here, and I'll pull it out and show you the inner tube. So the inner tube will twist and come out, and you have this inner piece. There's two sides to it. And it'll get scuzz in there, see? Scaling stuff, and you have to clean them out. Look at the inside of that. Holy Toledo. Yeah, they get all plugged up. There's still full of scuzz in there. All right, let me go get this cleaned up. So I physically cleaned off all the scale and stuff I could at the sink. Now I'm gonna actually put it through a wash cycle with some actual cleaner and some descaler. Okay, on the Manitowoc brand ice makers, you gotta use nickel safe ice maker cleaner. And it'll say safe for use on nickel and tin plated evaporators. The H.V.A.C's, they don't care. They're made out of stainless. You can put gnarly crap in there. So we'll let this thing get going here, get it filled up with water, and then we'll add the chemical. And then it'll cycle. So, got the condenser getting cleaned out. Still on a vacuum. Down to 540 microns. Ice machiner cleaner is in. It's circulating, doing its thing. Okay, we're down to 350 microns. Our wash cycle is all finished and rinsed out. I'm gonna get the gas to charge this up. Okay, so I'm going to get this thing started. It starts in a dump cycle, dumps water down the drain, and then it's gonna refill and go into a pre-chill. So what you can check on your Manitowocs as your freeze cycle goes along, you don't want to check your pressures until you're 5 minutes into the freeze cycle. But we're going to check our discharge, compressor discharge temperature. And it's going to have to get to, we'll look it up. I got it plugged into my Phoenix. I got my dual temperature. We're going to be checking the split on our evaporator coil. This is our inlet from our H.V.A.C. This is our outlet. The Manitowoc's going to have a differential for us to look at. So they give you this little check sheet, this little work. You can do this little worksheet. So they want to see the differential 5 minutes into the freeze cycle within 7 degrees on our inlet and outlet of our evaporator. And at the end of the freeze cycle, it needs to be 140 degrees on our discharge line temperature. Okay, so I'm 70 or under, 50 degrees water. It's going to tell me my freeze time is 9 to 10 minutes. My harvest cycle's 1 to 2.5 minutes when it goes into defrost. And these will be my operating pressures. So I'm going to be 195 to 255. And at the start of the freeze cycle, I'll be at 50. At the end, I'll be at 30. Right now, we're well within specs on that. We're going to see this discharge line temperature come up. And our differential right now is 1.9 degrees. I don't know if turning the lights on helps or not. I have to be within 5 minutes in. Right now I'm about 2 minutes in. This has to keep climbing, and this has to come up to 140 minimums. My suction can drop down to 30, and my head pressure is going to come down, and the fan cycling switch will kick it on. My head pressure can go as low as 195. Okay, I'm 5 minutes into my freeze cycle. My suction's come down to 38.4. My head's still staying steady at 201. My discharge temperature has come up to 132. I don't know if that's coming through. And my differential on my evaporator is 1.9. So I'm so I'm within 7. I can't go over 7 on my split on my evaporator 5 minutes in. So it's telling me my H.V.A.C is operating correctly. I need this temperature to get to 140 by the end of the harvest cycle so we can defrost or be darn close to it. And on my suction, I can come all the way down to 30 by the end of the freeze cycle. So right now, everything is within specs. Okay, our head pressure got low enough for our fan to start cycling on the fan cycle switch. Because it is like about I think in this room right now it's probably like 60 degrees or less. Okay, we just went into defrost. Right now it kicked in. You'll see our suction pressure's coming up. There's our head at 179. Suction is at 80. We're in specs for our defrost. We got the stopwatch going to see how long our defrost takes. Okay, there it did. It just dropped. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. It said we could go up to 2.5 minutes on our harvest time. That's within spec. Okay, so there's part of our grid. You can see that's the bridge, is this part right here that holds it all together. Might be a tad bit thick. We can adjust that down just a little bit, but we're making good ice. Okay, 5 minutes into my second cycle. My suction can be between 50 and 30. I'm at 40.9. I got an 8-degree evaporator. My head pressure can be between 195 and 255. I am within specs. I don't want my differential on my evaporator. Remember, we're checking our evaporator inlet and outlet. We cannot have more than 7 degrees. We need to be under 7-degree differential. We were at 0.91 degrees differential. Our temperature now and our discharge, we want this to be 140 degrees at the end of the freeze cycle. So right now it came up, it's higher than the first cycle. So it's building up heat for the defrost. We want to check this at the end. This we check at 5 minutes in, and we're good. This is the second batch. Pulled the curtain off. We could watch it defrost. Formed a uniform grid. Looks good. We're in harvest mode. And we'll see how she releases off the grid. There it goes. Okay, and there she is, all back together and done. Thanks for watching.